And next we have a fashion designer who is single-handedly preserving the environment through her work.
Single-handedly.
So next is Bunny.
Hi. Thank you. So I guess I want to share with everybody more than a story, but what I learned. So as a designer and in the fashion design and the marketing field, for me, I always just wanted my own brand in the beginning, right? Like all the other fashion designer, create your own style, everybody wears it, you know, so you can have everybody model your stuff. So how the Squirrelz, my company, starts is I visit a factory in China and want to find somebody to produce my collection. As I'm walking through the factory, you start realizing there's so many piles of new clothes that's going to get destroyed and discarded only because the color was a little bit off, or the style, like it's like a little shorter or smaller sizes. But since like it's rejected by the customers, they would get burned or shredded or sell it to the garbage collector or straight into the landfill. So when I first saw that, it wasn't like, oh my God, let me save the world. It was more like, how much is it? That's cheap. I can get that and make something out of it. And starting from there, you start realizing there's so many people around you also making products and wonderful things from upcycle, recycle method. Recycle is when you break it down, the material down to its base, so like recycle plastic, recycle paper. But upcycle is you study the characteristics of the things that you're about to use and you use minimum, I guess, force or more energy to turn it into something else. So then it started to become like a story about how to make other people care about what you do, right? So you start telling a story about like, oh my God, you know, it's environmental, it's saving so much waste. Then you see people's eyes glaze over. In the beginning, of course, it kind of hurts your feeling because you're so passionate about it. Then you start thinking about the other person's side, right? Like, this is your fight. You can't just say just because your fight, your cause, everybody should care. Then you start thinking, well, what do they care about? So in the beginning, with my collections, more about the who made it, what's the material, why is the concept behind it? So you start feeling more in touch with the product and the style of functionality or color or just matching your wardrobe. Then as we progress into a more corporate world, we consult brands and turning their production or marketing material into products or marketing campaign. And you start going like, oh, you know, this is going to be looking very good for your company or save the environment. Again, you see people glaze over. Then you're like, okay, so company need to survive too, right? Do we see all these like fast fashion, everybody's saying like destroying the world? Well, you know, there's still a lot of mouths to feed under the umbrella of fast fashion too. Now, what do they care about? Sure, environment is a great cause, but you still need to survive as a company, as a enterprise. So you start going, okay, so there has to be a way that you can save money, make money, and be eco, right? So we start looking into, there's a lot of waste product in the whole chain of command can go back into supply chain and not only make more money for the brand, but also eco. So it's like, you know, have your cake and eat it too. One example, we work with Ann Taylor. They have lots of post-event banners. We helped them did a pilot that turned them into clutches and bags. So by doing so, your next collection, not only the material cost is zero, now the whole carbon footprint becomes negative. So now you have a product that's new, that's exciting, that it doesn't really matter it's eco or not. It's efficiency. At the end, the whole sustainability talk, like circular model or like sustainability economy or chain economy, all these terms are just how to be a good business. So as my journey going through like how my company grow, and I still not exactly sure the right direction for it because there's so many different things to focus on when it comes to like waste marketing. Yes, I coined that term on TV, so it's mine. Like you start to feel what the other side feel, and why they should care about something that matters to you, and you relate a story for them to understand what you're talking about in the term they understand. So yeah, that's what I like to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Very informative.